All right, it is time that we address this right here, which is been something I've been putting off. I've got an oil leak that developed kind of right in the fall, and it's pretty common that when the weather shifts from warm to cold in the fall/winter, that some of my, fittings on the engine and stuff kind of, they expand and contract with those colder temperatures. And I normally got to go in and tighten up some hose clamps, which is why you're seeing a little bit of coolant in there. I'm sure that's just a loose fitting. I did check everything kind of in the fall. Couldn't figure out where the oil leak was coming from, and it's been something that I've been putting off just because it's always a little bit of a pain. But I figure it's probably worth making a video on. We're going to try to see if we can figure out where this leak is coming from and hopefully figure out a solution for it. So that is what we're doing today. First things first, we got to pull the cowling off this thing. Okay, so now my plan is just to clean it really good, get all the oil off there, and then I'll put those little temp intake sensors, I'll take them off the cowling, install them on here, then we can pull it outside, warm the engine up really good, and then hopefully we can see where the leak is coming from. All right, these are the little sensors that live on the cowling for the intake temps, so I'm gonna make sure they get plugged back in so I don't get any faults through the ECUs. And then we are good to push this out, get it all up to temp, and then hopefully we can see where this oil leak's coming from. Okay, it's already leaking. Let me see if I can show you where this is coming from. Okay, so we definitely got oil right here, and I think, I'm hoping it's just coming from this little nut right here, because I'm not feeling any oil above that. Although my bigger fear would be it's the seal on the turbo, but it's a lot easier for me to tighten this guy up than to replace the seal on a turbo. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to get a wrench in there, tighten that up. Okay, I definitely was able to turn that nut a little bit, so it did feel a little loose. So hopefully that's it. We'll fire it back up, let it come up to temp, and then see if it's still got that leak. Okay, so that didn't seem to fix it. You can tell. Still got it, dripping right there. But the interesting thing is you can see it coming from above. So I don't know if it's the seal on the turbo or this lower portion. I think I should just try to get a little bit of torque on both of these guys. I don't want to take the safety wire off, but maybe I can get around them. Or maybe I will have to take the safety wire off. But seeing as how it's coming down right here makes me think it's less on that and more coming out of this guy. I'll tighten some more stuff up and see if we can figure it out. Okay, so I wasn't able to tighten either of these guys up. Those were already fully tight, but this upper portion, let's set some stuff down. So this bolt right here that feeds the oil into the turbo was a little loose, so I did tighten that down a little bit. So I'm gonna do the same thing, clean it up, run it again, see if it helps. All right, hopefully I'm getting closer to it. We have a big storm moving in, so there's forecasting super high winds later. So I'm trying to get this done before the wind picks up, and I'm screwed on doing run-ups even outside. They're calling for like gusts to 40 or 60 miles an hour. So anyway, here we go again. Okay, this is promising. At least immediately, there's not any drips yet. I mean, the previous times there was drips like right away. So maybe I found it. Right now, that's dry as could be. This was the side that it was running down before. I'm not seeing anything. And I was seeing it down the tube on the top, which is almost impossible to get the camera in to show you. But my thought is right now that guy right there was the culprit. It's got some little brass crush washers or copper, whatever it is. And it turned really easily. So my gut feeling and my hope is it's this, because my nightmare was that it was the whole turbo or a seal in there. So yes, that would be a good fix. And the wind is already starting to pick up, so I'm gonna watch this for a second longer, and then I might just push it in the hangar and then let it sit for a while, because normally the leak happens, you know, a little while after it's been sitting. But also when I think of it, it's probably because it has to drip down on the cowling, then make its way all the way out the cowling. So I might not be noticing the drips till later, even though it's dripping right away. So fingers crossed that just fixed it. Okay, time check, it's 9:22. I'll let this sit for a bit, see if any oil puddles up, and then also probably just tighten down some of the coolant fittings. Just, you know, put a wrench on everything or a screwdriver and make sure everything's tight. All right, now it's been 20 minutes and I'm not seeing a single drip, which is a good sign. I'll show you guys. Everything is still perfectly dry on there. I don't want to jinx it, but I think that was the culprit. Since I have all the cowling and everything off, I just realized I'm pretty much due for an oil change, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then we can get this thing buttoned back up. But I am just, if that fixed it, I'm gonna be such a happy man, because for some reason in the back of my head, I was like, this is gonna be one of those things that's just gonna be a pain to solve. So, you know, one loose bolt, I'll take it. And then while I was in here, I did go around and just put a little extra tension on all the hose clamps for the coolant lines, because I did have that little coolant leak. Again, that's one that comes up when the weather gets cold every fall. So it's just the expansion contraction. Those hoses, or the clamps, seem to stretch out a little bit. So that hopefully, again, fingers crossed, takes care of all of it. I always write the hours, or the hours on the engine on there, so it's easy for me to just look at the oil filter and know what that amount of time was between changes. There we go. Now I just got to turn it over, clean up, and then we're all done. All right, got it all tidied up, got my oil sample ready to send in. I do send out an oil sample every time. After my engine out, I've just been like a nervous pilot, so the more I can keep up the speed on how my engine's health is, the more comfortable I am flying. So the last thing left to do is we just have to turn over to purge the whole system again. So you're supposed to turn the prop 10 times, full rotation. So let's get after it. What was that? It just basically burped and overflowed. Never had that happen before. Must have been a little bit of oil left in that system. Freaking amateur hour over here. I've never had that happen before. It's acting way overfilled. Well, that's weird. I've never had it do that. It's completely overfilled, and put the same amount of oil I normally do in. So I'm gonna have to go pull more oil out. All right, oil change is officially 100% done. Safety wires back on, everything should be purged. Oil filter, everything's ready to go. The only thing left is I'm gonna push it out, run it, get it up to temp, make sure I got oil pressure, then I can check my oil level, and then hopefully confirm that I still have no oil leaks, and then we'll be dialed. So let's do it. All right, and just like that, done deal. fresh oil change, and hopefully no more leaking that little freaking thorn in my side, or that pesky oil leak. Hopefully I got taken care of. So anyway, I think that's it for this one. Like I said, the wind's already picking up pretty good, and we're supposed to have some pretty crazy gusts throughout the day, so I don't even think it's worth going up and buzzing around because I'd probably just get the crap beat out of me. But also, some of you guys probably noticed that there was a good bit of noise going on in the background. I wanted to show you what that was from. My friends from First Class Landscaping have been out here, and we're finally landscaping the area between the house and the hangar. So got some DG, we're gonna put in a couple plants and some rocks, and they also did some sweet paver stairs, which is gonna be the best part of this whole deal, because all winter, whenever it's wet, this has just been the muddiest thing you've ever seen. So anytime I wanted to go between the house and the hangar, I have to walk the long way. So just these stairs on their own are just gonna be like the nicest thing ever. So anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one out here. And hopefully on the next video, we're going camping because we have a planned trip over to Gravelly Valley if weather permits, so fingers crossed. And with that, you guys know the drill. Like this video if you do, subscribe if you haven't, come be my wingman. See you on the next one. Peace.